faculties to fill the Google form. I will be sharing at around 3:45, so that will be treated as the attendance for today's function, because we have to maintain the attendance also. That is also very important. It is even for students also. At 3:45 around, I will be sharing it in your chat box. Please refer that and kindly fill that. Now I request Mr. Vinod Shankar to continue with his presentation. Sir. Sir? Hello? Hello?
Dr. Vinod Shankar. Maybe he muted.
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Vinod Shankar. Vinayak sir.
Sir. I don't have his number.
Yeah, please.
I'll just contact Vijay Kumar and call him. I try to contact him, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. Okay, sir. I think yeah. Sir, he's telling he has not received the link. I even I to have don't have his contacts. So yeah, we are sending the link. We are sending the link to him, and he will be joining.
Yes. You should have been asked before.
Yeah, sir. I should have asked, but I thought I don't have his contacts. Okay. Anyhow, sir, Vijay Kumar is sharing now. Okay. I thought he will be communicated, but it has happened like this. Hello, sir. Has he come? Hello. Who? Apa yang terasa pun?
Vinayak sir. Dr. Vinayak.
What is the problem? Link has not been shared with him earlier. I'm also not aware of this. I thought, sir, the thing is that 2-3 people will log out now because it is not accepting more than 300 as the strength is.
Yes, because they have to come through the YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, Zoom only. He has to come through Zoom only.
Okay.
And
Now you talk to Imtiaz to come into that. Maybe
yes, sir, I'll do that.
now 295 only, not 300 exactly.
Yeah. It has. Agitra, no? Acha, he was. Agitra. I think he joined earlier, I think, sir. I don't know. इम्तियाज जी YouTube में भी लाइव कर दो स्ट्रीमिंग ना हो गए ना और इस सर ना विनोद शंकर सर है वो आएंगे आपको अभी ना उनको भी यार ये कर लो हाँ अनम्यूट करो हाँ उनको ज्वाइन करने को सर और अनम्यूट ಮಾಡಿ सर प्लीज अनम्यूट विनोद शंकर
ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್ ಅವನು
okay and host him we can so that he can share yeah okay sorry for this disturbance sorry for this disturbance I think he is fine now he can share his slides and he can continue
yes
yeah it is there Vinod Shankar sir is there yes thank you and sorry for this disturbance
no problem sir
Dr. Vinod Shankar, you before you start your the seminar, the lecture here, you just to introduce yourself and then you can start because more than 300 students have now joined.
Okay.
Many of them may know, I don't know whether everybody knows you. Better to introduce yourself and then you can start later. Bye.
Okay, perfect. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vinod Shankar. So I'm the CEO of AIC DSU Innovation Foundation. So AIC stands for Atal Incubation Center and DSU obviously is Dayanand Sagar University. So we are a technology business incubator. We can help startups with lot of offerings like mentoring, training, funding, all of these. So we are in Hosur Road, Kodligate campus in the block A, so first floor. So I'll be running you through a presentation and then you can actually ask me questions once I finish the presentation. So looking at student entrepreneurship at a glance, there are different stages. So first one, we have to look at the qualities of entrepreneur. So many of the students here might want to start something on their own in their careers, right? So you need to realize what are the different qualities that are required for an entrepreneur and whether you fit the bill. So the second step obviously is you need to have creativity and innovation so that you can differentiate yourself in the market and you can bring out the innovation. So the third step is obviously we will be looking at the entrepreneurial process wherein we will see what are the different stages when you have to start any entrepreneurial venture. So the fourth stage is obviously developing a solid business model and business plan so that you can develop your venture and you can take it to the market and you can start generating revenue as well. So the final stage obviously is the startup incubation and funding where AIC DSU will come into the picture. So we'll start with the qualities of entrepreneur. So these are some of the qualities that I have listed down for an entrepreneur, which are very important. So first of all, the entrepreneur needs to be self-driven. So there will be a lot of tasks that will come ahead of the entrepreneur. So he has to be self-motivated and he has to do all these tasks. So and he also has to persevere with a lot of things. So he has to have the commitment so that if any task is pending, he has to finish those tasks. Obviously, he or she has to be energetic. Lot of energy is required to run a startup. So you have to run around, do a lot of innovations and do a lot of sales and marketing stuff so that you can actually bring out your venture. So risk taking, obviously running a startup is a bit of a risk. The industry standard itself says out of 100 startups that come out, only 10 startups or less than that succeed. So that shows the element of risk that is involved in startup. But if you persevere and if you do the right things in the right way, so then your startup can be successful. So that is where incubators like AIC DSU Foundation will come into picture, and they will actually show you the right path. So you need to be leading from the front. So you need to be a strong communicator so that you have better interpersonal skills with all your fellow team members, and you can actually get the things done. Obviously, startup is not working in silos, right? So you need to work as a team. So in fact, you will have different departments in any company if you notice. Starting with the CEO, then there will also be different departments like marketing teams, sales teams, HR teams, technology teams, all of these. So if you have the right interpersonal skills, then you can actually figure out how to work with all the team members, and you can get the things done. So you need to have a strong sense of integrity. Obviously, you need to be very clear in your conscience, and you need to be a visionary so that you know how the market is progressing and what are the different fine tuning that needs in your business so that it can be successful in the market. So problem solving, there will be n number of problems in a startup actually. So that is why you need to be a quick problem solver. So you need to take quick decisions and out of box thinking, what you call it, with a creative thinking also helps. So commercial awareness, you need to realize the different costs involved in any startup, and you also need to figure out the way in which you can earn revenues. So you need to realize whether yours is a B2B market, whether yours is a B2C market or B2B2C market. So all these things you need to be aware of, and you need to really know how to market your solution and how to generate revenues. So one small exercise all the students can actually perform is to find out the entrepreneurial quotient. So on the left side, you can list down the different qualities that are required for any entrepreneur. For example, the ideas, your leadership skills, your communication and interpersonal skills, your problem solving ability, your creative thinking, so the planning ways, and the decision making ability, so the risk taking ability, perseverance, and obviously your finances. And then you can actually give a rating starting from 1 to 10. So 10 being the highest and 1 being the least score. So against each of the parameters that I have listed on the left side, you can give yourself a score. So this is a self-evaluation matrix actually. For example, you may be very good in generating ideas. So then you can give yourself, let's say 9. And then if your leadership skills are okay, so then you can give something like 6. So that way, against each of the parameters, you can give yourself a score, and you can do some self-analysis and introspection. So to see whether you are cut out for entrepreneurial journey. So not all the students will be cut out for entrepreneurial journey, that we also understand. So many of them would have some finances problems at homes and all. So they would want to pursue jobs. So that is why you need to realize yourself, and you need to see whether you can start the entrepreneurial journey or whether you want to pursue the jobs. So this will be a good self-introspection for you, wherein you can rate yourself against each of the parameters, and you can see whether you are cut out for startups or whether you are cut out for jobs in other companies. So once you understand yourself, so if you feel that there are certain areas where you are lacking, then you can actually build this kind of sheet, which will say what are your different passions, what are your different ideas, and what are your different interests, so that you would like to explore. So someone would be interested in, let's say, developing some technology product. So he can mention all those products, let's say something in Internet of Things, or someone would be interested in robotics. So you can actually list down all these ideas. There could also be different instances wherein people want to pursue their creative talents. Let's say someone is interested in arts and painting. So they can actually list down those ideas. So once you do that, the next step is obviously the entrepreneurial skills that I want to develop. So in the previous slide, what we saw, the different skills of entrepreneur, like problem solving skills, interpersonal skills, communication skills. So if you are lacking in any of these areas, you can list down all of these. And then you can also identify your different friends as business partners. Obviously, you need to have friends who will complement your skill sets. So you might be sound technically, but you may not be a good salesperson. So then your friends who need to be business partners, you can actually identify those friends who are very good in communication, who are good at selling. So that kind of business partners you can actually identify. So that works in the long run. So if you have to do any business with your friends as the business partners, you can actually form such groups and you can carry out a business. So then you also need to identify your mentors. So who are your mentors who will actually guide you to run the business successfully? So these mentors could be your faculty members because the Anand Sagar University has a rich pool of faculty members who are also from the industry. So many have worked in large corporates and they have very good knowledge in technology and in the business skills, all of these. So that way you need to identify who would be the best mentors for you. And then you can actually approach them and seek their help and you can run your business as well. So creativity and innovation plays a very important role when you're starting your startup. So there could be a structured approach to it. So tools like Scamper or Six Thinking Hats, so these all help you in boosting your creativity and innovation. So just for an example, if you notice on the right side, so what you see is an ordinary pencil. So this pencil, if you have to mark it in a different way, there are n number of ways through which you can do that. For example, you can have an eraser on the one end of the pencil, or you can also have pen at one end of the pencil. So you can have different sizes of pencil. So something like XL, normal, XS, what you get in your t-shirts. So similar sizes of pencils could be there. So you could also have different kinds of sharpening. So whether it is through sharpener or whether it is through a blade. So different options you could work out. So this is just simple example with a pencil. So that way you can actually realize what is the business that you want to get into, and you can have different permutations and combinations for your business ideas. So where you can use different techniques of substituting the materials or combining different materials, so adapting to different situations or putting it to other users. So these are some of the areas that you need to work on, and you need to really boost your creativity so that your business is very different from the market. So now coming on to the entrepreneurial process, first of all, you need to spot opportunities. So whenever you are going on the road, so you just need to figure out where could be the opportunity. For example, in the recent COVID crisis, right? So you have this foot pressed dispensers. So that is something which came during the COVID crisis. So that is how you need to spot opportunities. So whenever you see some problem, immediately you should think what can be done to solve this problem. And so how you can actually go about that entire process. So that is how you spot the opportunities and create some solution for it. So idea generation, again, you can think out of the box and come out with different ideas. So for example, you may want to run some car with some fluid like water or something like that. So then you need to plan what needs to be done in order to run a car with water. So maybe you convert water, split it into liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, and then you can run with hydrogen. So something like that. So I'm just giving you some ideas. So that way you need to figure out what is the business you want to get into, and you can generate ideas. So then comes the step of defining customer value. So whenever you design any product or a service, you need to figure out who are your paying customers. So why should someone pay for your service? Why should someone pay for your product? So once you realize that, then automatically the things will fall in place. So many times what happens is people have different ideas, but they may not be something which people will buy. So that is when a business fails. So whenever you have to think of any idea, you first analyze if the customers are going to buy your product. So that is how you generate revenue, right? So otherwise, just having ideas, and then if you don't have customers, no point developing that solution at all. So then is the business model and business plan. So here you have to have a thorough analysis of how you grow your business. So who are your team members and how do you scale it up? So whether it is only for the Bangalore market, whether it is for the international market, so all these things will be defined in the business plans. So once you have a business plan in place, then you are ready to launch your business. So there are certain nuances in launching the business. Obviously, you need to form a company, or you need to have different compliances like PFPT registrations, and you need to have memorandum of association, memorandum of understanding, all of these with your customers, the legal aspects. And if you have a solid idea, then that needs to be patented as well. So you need to go for searching of patents and filing of patents to protect your intellectual properties. So all this will come into the picture whenever you are launching the business. So once you launch the business, then you need to raise funds. So initially, you can actually pull in your own savings and from your family members, all of these. So then once you start growing the business, then you may have to raise some seed capital, then go for Series A, Series B, Series C kind of funding. So obviously, when you're seeking investments, the first thing the investors are going to ask is how are you going to deploy those funds and what are the kind of returns that you're going to generate. So no one is going to give you money just like that, right? So if anyone has to give money, they will ask how you're going to use it and what kind of returns they can expect. So think on those lines and frame your business solution. So if you manage to raise funds, nothing like it, so you can grow the business faster. And then you have to deploy the funds in the right way so that they are utilized in an appropriate manner. So many startups actually, they do a lot of mistakes. For example, they raise funds and the first thing they are going to do is go to some very good office space in posh areas like MG Road and Kormangla, so that kind of stuff. So do not burn money like that. So analyze where the money needs to go, whether it has to go towards product development, whether it has to go towards marketing, whether it has to go towards sales efforts. So realize those things and accordingly plan your finances. So once you are on the right track, then your business will be on autopilot mode. So that is when you start reaping the results of your revenues and profits. So emphasizing more on the business model and business plan, you need to identify the customer target segment. So who are your customers, whether your product and solution is for business to business, or whether you can sell directly to the customers, or whether it is B2B2C kind of market. So then competition analysis is also very important for you, where you really need to know who your competitors are. For example, if you are going to start some e-commerce business without any proper plan, so you have all the biggies like Amazon, Flipkart, so and Reliance also entering in a big way. So it becomes very difficult to sustain in the market. So that is why you need to plan out the competition, who are your competitors, and accordingly, you need to have the right strategies. So pricing model also is important. So you can actually have a differentiator and price it higher, or you can also compete on the cost leadership. So wherein you price it lower than the competition and you succeed in the market. So then you need to have the proper revenue cost and growth projections. You need to show how much revenue you are going to generate in the next couple of months, next couple of years, all of these. And you also need to analyze what is the kind of cost you're going to incur, whether it is towards your staff salaries, whether it is towards your marketing expenses, whether it is towards your sales expenses. So all of these you need to analyze and you need to project the growth so that you have the necessary top line and bottom line. So top line is nothing but your revenue turnovers and bottom line is your profitability. So sales, marketing and financial plan, how are you going to sell, whether it is through direct sales or whether it is through online channels or whether it is through partners, and marketing tactics, whether it is to do with digital marketing, social media marketing. So all of these you need to be very clear in your minds before launching your solution. And financial plan, obviously the kind of assets and liabilities that you will have and the kind of profits and losses that you're going to incur. So all these things you need to be very clear before launching your solution. So this is a business model canvas that you can use for starting any of your business. So where you will have different cost structures. So the different costs that you're going to incur and the different revenue streams. So how are your revenues going to come? And what are the different channels of marketing for you, whether it is through channel partners or whether it is through direct sales. So all this you can define in the channels. And customer segments, obviously, you need to define the demographics, whether it is for a particular age group of people, whether it is for a particular gender of people. So all these you need to define in the business model canvas. And customer relationships, obviously, how are you going to treat your customers? What will be the post-sale relationship that you will have? So if at all you have any repeat business from your customers, so post-sale relationships become very important. And who are the key resources, the kind of staff that you're going to hire, and the different key activities that you're going to perform. So through the business model canvas is very important for you. So once you have a proper business model canvas, it's all about execution. So once you have the necessary documentation around it, so then you can start executing your project so that you can see the necessary results. So the last step is startup incubation and funding. That is where we come into picture. So any startup incubation will actually offer you different kinds of services like training, mentoring, business networking, so that you can have access to your customers, and you will also have the operating space. So here we have a lot of innovation labs also set up in association with companies like GE Healthcare, VMware, IBM, NVIDIA, all of these. So all these you could utilize at AIC DSU Innovation Foundation. So we also have different service providers who can actually help you in your marketing efforts and funding efforts. So we have connects with venture capitalists and angel investors, all of this. So it becomes easy for you to raise funds as well. And we also give a lot of software credits like AWS credits, Google credits, DigitalOcean credits. So all of these, which will actually help you in your business endeavors. And market access, obviously, if you have to internationalize your business as well, we can actually get connects for you in different markets like US, Europe, Africa, everywhere. So that way, depending on your kind of requirement, so we can actually help you in any of these areas. So here we are, AIC DSU Innovation Foundation. We are a Section 8 company. So we are sponsored by Atal Incubation Innovation Mission and Niti Aayog, Government of India. So what we offer right now, it's all incubation space with cabins, discussion rooms, utilities, front office, security, housekeeping. And then the different kinds of services I was mentioning, like training, mentoring, software credits. So all of these can be offered to the students as well. So these are some of the innovation labs that are there in association with Autodesk, Bosch Rexroth, and NVIDIA. So Unlock Devices, Google, IBM. So these are all there. So it's up to the students to utilize them optimally and then bring out the innovations from these labs. So our main objective obviously is to train you in the technical aspects of it. And also we will train you on the business aspects of it so that you know how to bring out the innovation and then how to do business as well. So all these are possible within AIC DSU Foundation. So we'll be very happy to welcome students who want to start something on their own. So these are some of the value-added programs that we offer to the startups. So business plan preparation is obviously very important. So there is something called elevator pitch. So what is elevator pitch? Elevator pitch is nothing but when you're meeting an investor in an elevator. So how much time do you get? Maybe 3 minutes. So in that 3 minutes, how do you convince that investor to invest in your business? So we can actually help you in those elevator pitches as well. And business skills obviously will be comprising of different marketing, sales, intellectual property related trainings are done, and business extension. So for example, if you want to extend some other business line in your venture, so we can actually plan those out and we can help you to pivot as well. So identifying new markets, as I was mentioning, different geographies across the globe. So we could actually help you in identifying new markets. So there will be a lot of investor meetups within the incubator. So a lot of investors will come in and they will listen to your pitches. So if they are convincing, then obviously you will get a lot of investments for your business as well. And there will be regular network meeting as well, so that you network with different colleagues and different other startups, so that you get to learn from them. So whether it is success or whether it is failure, so it will be a learning experience for you. So a few interesting quotes here pertaining to entrepreneurship. So Henry Ford, you must be aware, so that he was the first to launch the assembly line of production and manufacture of cars through Ford Motor Company, right? So he said he had an idea. So if he had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. But he was the one to, project that cars have a future, and he went for the assembly manufacturing, and the rest is history. So Ford became a very successful car company. And then the second one, obviously, is Steve Jobs. So he said that successful entrepreneurs, the one thing that separates from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. So obviously, startup culture is something which requires a lot of dedication, commitment, and you need to believe in yourself. So before your success can be seen. So that is why you need to have the full commitment so that your startups can be successful. And Peter Drucker, so the marketing guru, he said, entrepreneur always searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity. So first you need to define any problem. So you need to see problem, and then for that problem, you need to arrive at a solution. And for that solution, if you can market it to the customers, then you become a successful entrepreneur. So the final quote is from Ratan Tata, so who said, young entrepreneurs will make a difference in the Indian ecosystem. Yes, so this is very much true. And today you see a lot of startups which are very successful, which have become unicorns. So these are some of the successful startups. Flipkart started as a very small online bookshop, and then they went on to become a very large e-commerce company, right? So they were acquired by Walmart also. And even the founders, Sachin Bansal, so they all got almost $1 billion. So that is the kind of success youngsters have seen in this startup fraternity. And Oyo, which is again into hotel booking and all, so founded by Ritesh Agarwal. So he was also a kind of school dropout or college dropout. And then he started this company which got huge investments from SoftBank and all. So it's a unicorn. So unicorns are nothing but those startups which have a valuation of $1 billion plus. So that is the kind of scale that these youngsters have built. And Ola again is a cab aggregator. So you all know about Ola, Bhavish Agarwal. So he's a very successful entrepreneur who has also raised millions of dollars of funding. So Zomato is into food tech, where they will deliver all your lunches and breakfast, all of these. So they are also very successful. So Byju's, they also started as a very small coaching company. And today, look at the scale that they have built. So it's one of the most valued companies in India. So they have raised a huge amount of funding, and they have captured large markets, not only in India, but even overseas. So Lenskart is also one more successful startup, which has a lot of lens retailing shops, and even you get all your eyeglasses through online delivery platform. So they are also a unicorn valued more than $1 billion. So with this, I come to the end of my presentation. So thank you so much for your patient listening. So all I wanted to say is many students in this group are capable, they have the potential. So you just realize your potential and see that if you can start something on your own and become successful like one of these unicorns as well. So wishing you all the best, and happy to take any questions you may have.
Yes. Yeah. I request
Dr. Vinod Shankar,
Yes.
would you please explain what facilities you have in your Atal Incubation Center, and what's the time can our students can meet, and so how many success story of our the Atal the center from DSU? So if you could highlight some of them, the aspects of that one, so our students will have more access to contact you, either you or your colleagues. Would you please?
Yeah, sure. So in fact, we started recently. So we started in the month of June, and we have onboarded 4 startups as of today. So they are in different verticals like waste management, and then healthcare, so mobility, transportation, all of these. So one of the startups, he has almost 50 plus innovations in different stages of development. Like he's talking about conversion of plastic waste into some kind of ash, which can be used for paving stones and your concrete materials and all. And then he's also talking about a mosquito repellent, which can be used with a USB charger, which can be used along with your laptops, or it can be used in cars, all of this. So that kind of innovations he has in mind. So he has also built some prototype. So now he is also expecting students who can take this forward. So there can be some kind of founders agreement. So wherein there will be some stake also shared with the students, so that they also become owners of these companies. So that kind of opportunities are available. And one more company called Futuristic Retail, they are also developing a solution which will be more towards the contactless payment in BMTC buses and all. So there also he is inviting students who have some knowledge on different technologies like Python and all, so who can come forward and take up these projects. So that will be a great learning experience for all these students who want to venture into something on their own. And at the same time, facility wise, we have beautiful innovation lab set up with all the workstations and complete with air conditioning, internet, power backup, security, housekeeping, everything is taken care of. So students who really want to start something on their own, they can approach us and they can make use of these facilities. So at the same time, we have onboarded a lot of mentors from the industry, so who will be able to guide the students if they want some kind of help in taking this forward. So investors also, we have huge connects in the industry. So we are tied up with Indian Angel Network, Let's Venture, and other VCs. So even Startup Exceed Ventures, all of these. So if students want to raise any money, we can actually help them with that. But of course, they need to show some traction before they can raise any money. So it's very difficult to raise money at the ideation stage. So students will have a lot of ideas, but raising funds at the ideation stage is a big challenge, at least in India. So that is why people need to at least work some minimum viable product, which is known as MVP, or it could be a patentable prototype or something like that. And after that, we can approach different investment agencies so that they can raise funds to build their product further. So these are some of the benefits that are available to the students. And it can be open up to late in the night also. So if students want to finish off their academic sessions and then want to come here and want to work out of these innovation labs, so we can actually support that as well. So we are also planning a lot of technical trainings on each of these labs, which will be a kind of 1 month course for the students. So any student who wants to take up these technical training courses in any of the labs that I mentioned. For example, if someone from mechanical department is interested in Autodesk products, so they can actually undertake courses in the Autodesk lab. And there is also a maker space where soft prototyping can be done. So there are different hand tools, 3D printers, scanners, all of these available. And we have very good resources handling these labs actually. So even the Bosch Rexroth lab also is full of vibrancy. So we have a very good resource there who will actually train the students on any of the projects. So a lot of successful projects have come out of these Bosch Rexroth labs, like coffee vending machine and then so liquid mixing machine. So all of these have come out of that. So if people have ideas in these pneumatics, hydraulics technologies and all, and they want to bring out products, so we can actually support them as well. So the other labs also, software, hardware, so all these are available there. So only thing is students need to show the interest in learning these technologies, and after that they can bring out their own innovations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I request participants, if you have any queries, questions, please ask. Yeah, distinguished speaker. So participants, please. Yeah. Ma'am, you can ask. Sumita PM, you can ask the question. You raise the hand. Do you have any questions, ma'am? Okay. I think, sir, no questions.
No, you can give some time. Maybe
Yeah.
someone, because we are all muted, no?
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are right. Imtiaz, can you unmute all? Imtiaz, sir, are you there? I'll call him.
One Miss Amruta has raised.
Yes, sir. I'm calling. Okay. He's doing that, sir. Just now I told him he'll be doing that.
Okay.
So meanwhile, sir, I have a question for you if it is audible.
Yeah, please tell me.
So can you enlighten or can you tell, Atal Incubation Center, what it is and what are the activities it conducts and how it runs to our students as well as faculty? It would be very helpful to them.
Okay. So Atal Incubation Center is nothing but an incubator actually. So the role of an incubator is to support startups.
Okay.
And these startups could be either from outside entrepreneurs or it could be from our own Dayanand Saga students actually.
Okay.
So in fact, it can come from the ideation stage and then it can reach the commercialization stage. So if students have any ideas, they can actually discuss with us and we can help them how it can be taken to the next level.
Okay.
So in fact, there is also a course called Product Engineering and Entrepreneurship. So wherein the mandate for the students is to come out with some kind of patentable prototype and all. So in fact, many students have shown interest in that course as well. So we are handholding all these students through this course so that they can come out with their own products. And probably later they can also start their own company and start generating revenues as well. And as far as faculty members are concerned, so there will be a lot of mentoring opportunities for the faculty members. And in fact, if faculty members are interested in training in these technical training labs, right? So there will be a lot of opportunities for them to train the students. And at the same time, if faculty members also have ideas, so they can actually have students as interns and they can give a lot of projects to the students and they can bring out a lot of innovations from this. So to sum it up, it's all about innovation. So bringing out new products and services from the center. So where we are making available all the infrastructure to them.
Okay. Yeah, I request some people. Now it is unmuted. You can please ask your questions. Yeah. One Miss Sumita PM. Ma'am, please raise your question. Sumita PM. Yeah, ma'am, you can ask. Hello. Still unable to. Ma'am, you can write a query on your chat box. I'll communicate if there is some problem.
Hello, yes, sir, finally I'm able to answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful session. It's really mind-blowing and I'm so glad that our institute has come up with this. I'm a physiotherapy student, sir. So when we talk about innovation and startups, most often than not, engineers do it. So since we come from the healthcare aspect of our institute, I am very eager and keen to know if we physiotherapists can also come up with innovative ideas, which we already have, and approach you, sir. That's my question.
Yeah, I think answer to this is obviously yes. So you need not have to be an engineering student to come out with a startup. So it could be from commerce line, or it could be from arts lines, or it could be from physiotherapy line that you were mentioning. So in fact, physiotherapy, obviously, if you have to offer physiotherapy as a service, so you can think of different ways, right? So just opening a shop and then advertising through banners and all, or it could also be linked through a technology, like you can aggregate a lot of physiotherapists. And then, so it can be something like your applications, Portia and Practo, right? So Portia is, I think, closest one. So wherein they will actually send people to homes. So like that, you can also think of different business models if you have any ideas. And you can aggregate physiotherapists and you can actually provide home services, all of these. So these are some of the ideas that I could think of, but you should be able to come out with more ideas because you are in that particular field. But yes, if you have that entrepreneurial bent of mind, so we can certainly talk and then we can actually define some business idea as well.
Yes, sir. I'm thinking of more of in the teaching module aspect rather than because there's a lot of people are already able to avail physiotherapy services, but when it comes to the teaching thing, I think there's a lot of gaps that need to be filled. So it would be wonderful if you can actually leave us, the contact details that we can approach you. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Any further questions?
Hi, sir.
I think
There is a question from students.
yeah, sir. Yeah, continue. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yes,
Very
yes.
good.
So, my question is that you talked about offering courses, technical and business side courses. So, should we wait till our college reopens to take up the courses or to approach you, or is there any online aid for this, sir? Like,
Yeah,
we are still at
actually,
home.
yes, it will be a blended model wherein classes will be done online also through GeoMeet or AirMeet or Zoom, all of these. And there could also be practice sessions. So in fact, only students are not coming, what I noticed here. All the faculty members, everyone is here actually. So in fact, since we have a large number of workstations and those things, so social distancing also is not a problem. So if you are keen on pursuing these entrepreneurship courses or even technical training courses, so in fact, I have shared my coordinates in the chat window. So you can just write to me or you can WhatsApp me, whatever is convenient for you, and we'll take that forward.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So any questions? I hope. So I think, sir, we can,
Uh,
yeah, sir, yeah.
Any questions? No?
Hello, may I know who is this? Okay, sir, yeah. So
Okay.
we had a very nice session
Okay.
by Mr. Vinod Shankar on IQAC initiatives. And this is very, very important. It is really courageous task to accept your profession as an entrepreneur. It needs a lot of guts. And how institute can help you if you have that gut or inherent ability to become an entrepreneur. That is very, very holistic approach. And the Anand Sagar University will help you in this regard. This is the intention of the whole program. Mr. Vinod Shankar has elaboratively covered all the issues and all the nitty-gritties involved and procedure involved, how to open your own entrepreneurship shell and how to start your as a startup. This is very, very important in one's life, because always going as an employee and working under someone is not the trend now. When we were there, this was the case. Now things have changed. It's a good initiative by our IQAC cell. Also, I'd like to thank Professor K. Muthuchelayan also. So it is very good initiative. I request all students as well as faculties to utilize these cells or incubation centers, and they can think much beyond than their regular activities. Now I request Professor K. Muthuchelayan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, to extend his closing remarks and to extend his words of wisdom to all people gathered.
So at the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Vinod Shankar for giving the excellent the remarks about what the facilities we have in our DSU, and then also how to become an entrepreneur, and then what are the various startup programs are available, and how best the laboratories in our DSU campus 3 is helping the students. And I think he has given an open call to everyone in our campus for not only for the engineering. I think he remarkably has mentioned that not only for the service to only to the engineers, and then also any group belong to non-engineering can also visit, and you can have the help of Dr. Vinod Shankar, and they are ready to help us. So it is for the open the announcement to all the participants of our students here. I would like to also announce here, tomorrow we have a similar program like this, and I request all the participants of today, you must attend tomorrow's meeting. The theme of that meeting we have, pointed out, we have fixed for the placement training, placement counseling, and what are the placement opportunities available in our DSU. I think that they are going to give. So what are normally Dr. the late our Abdul Kalam, our first president, used to mention here, all the institutions should not be an incubator. Incubator, it means putting eggs in the machine and then producing the chick. It is not like that. Only the institution has a role to produce the employable citizens. So employable citizens, that is the mind he has visioned 10 years before. So the same thing also DSU has been pointed out here. And I think I request all the participants tomorrow, the same time of 3 o'clock, to join here. And Guru Venkatesh of our the placement director would like to enlighten more about the placement activities, what we have, and what are the various companies we are visiting, and then how many students have been getting placement through our DSU, the placement being, and then how much salary they are getting. So all these things they are, I think, they are going to enlighten tomorrow. So with this short note, I think the program will continue. The program will extend until 25th of this month. Every day we have a useful program, and then even you are at home virtually, we are coming to a room, we are virtually, you are coming to a desk of your house, and we are giving a lot of the initiatives and how best we can enlighten you in the field of education, in the field of the curricular, in the field of co-curricular, in the field of extension, and then also innovation, including the job placements for your career and counseling. So with this short note, I thank you, the Vinayak sir, and then all the colleagues of the various institutions of the Dayananda Sagar University, and my special thanks goes to the Vinod Shankar for the excellent lecture for the delivery. Thank you, Varandal, and also to our the director of the research. I think he also mentioned about the program what we are going to have in the near future about the IPSL activities. That also I think he is going to give more about that. Anyone after the invention can also make it as a patentable one. That also we are going to have it through our IQAC cell under the banner of Dayananda Sagar University, under the leadership of our Dr. Vinayak. Thank you, Varandal, for the patient hearing.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, and I wish all a great day. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow for a very interesting session, as sir told. It will be on training placement activities conducted by DSU by your favorite Guru Venkatesh sir. So it will be a very interesting session. I request all to join tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you, Vinayak sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, Imtiaz sir.